Public speaking notes. The speech communication process. Basic elements of the speech communication process. Speech communication begins with a speaker. The speaker is the person who delivers the message. Successful speakers combine technical skill with personal enthusiasm. The message is whatever a speaker communicates to someone else. The goal of the speaker is to have the intended message be the message that is actually communicated. Achieving this depends both on what the speaker says, the verbal message, and how the speaker says it, the nonverbal message. The channel is the means by which a message is communicated. Public speakers may use one or more of several channels: microphone, radio, television, etc. In speech class, the channel is the most direct because listeners see and hear the speaker without any media or electronic intervention. The listener is the person who receives the communicated message. Everything a speaker says is filtered through a listener's message. A listener's frame of reference is the sum total of his or her knowledge, experience, goals, values, and attitudes. Because a speaker and listener are different people, they can never have exactly the same frame of reference. Because people have different frames of reference, a public speaker must take care to adapt the message to the particular audience being addressed. Feedback consists of messages sent from the listener to the speaker. Most communication situations involve two-way communication in which the speaker can see how the audience is responding. Successful public speakers learn to interpret the feedback sent by the listeners and to adjust their messages in response to the feedback. Interference is anything that impedes the communication of a message. Interference can be either external or internal. External interference comes from outside the audience, such as a ringing telephone, the noise of traffic, or static in a microphone. Internal interference comes from within the audience, such as poor listening skills or lack of concentration. Successful public speakers work to hold their listeners' attention despite interference. The situation is the time and place in which speech communication occurs. Speech communication always takes place in a particular situation. A conversation might occur over a candlelight dinner or in a noisy tavern. A public speech might be presented in a small classroom, in a large auditorium, or at outdoor graduation ceremonies. Successful public speakers are alert to the situation and adjust their remarks to it. Speech communication process begins with a speaker who then sends a message to the listener. The listener absorbs that message and sends back feedback to the speaker. And anywhere along the line you can get interference.